Fair
And
enough,
I think the
Shiv.
political
India,
leaders have
India
shown
did an
that they
airstrike
will
on
not.
Balakot. Again, it was the Mirage 2000 that was the chosen platform to strike deep inside Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Shiv, is this perhaps the best option, or even better still, use unmanned combat aerial vehicles, because the lives of your pilots are also saved, Shiv?
These are extremely complicated missions, Gaurav. And like Wing Commander Goyal said, the French Air Force and the French Navy have some experience, in precision aerial strikes in the North African region. They have conducted strikes. You and I, have both seen French jets also over Libya, Gaurav. But the fact is,
Yes.
absolutely, a template has definitely been set because in the modern day battlefield, I think what you said before is turning out to be true. Wipe out terror at the source, whether it is with manned fighters or if platforms permit, then with unmanned combat aerial vehicles like the Predator drones that the United States has and that the Indian government might be acquiring quite soon. These are all possibilities, but none of these missions. Let's not pretend that any of these missions is in any way simple. They are very, very high risk missions. Groups like the ISIS are known to have quite sophisticated air defenses as well. They've got good intelligence, they've got good early warning, and even though many of their assets have been taken out in these aerial strikes, they continue to be supplied with quite advanced early warning and air defense systems, including surface-to-air missiles. So their capability, while significantly depleted over the last few years, continues to be largely unknown in many parts of Syria and Iraq. And as we see many of these, a
Oh,
lone wolf
absolutely.
and coordinated attacks in Europe, I imagine that such strikes are only going to increase.
Wing Commander Goel, you're a fighter pilot, and the entire world saw in horror how the Islamic State terrorists, they burnt a Jordanian F-16 pilot alive. Horrifying images. So those are the risks involved. Does the Islamic State still have those kinds of capabilities to bring down a fighter jet? We've seen both Shiv and I were reporting from Libya, and we saw the ACAC guns go after aircraft, Colonel Gaddafi's aircraft at that point of time, very frequently. But have they upgraded it to missiles and even further?
Yes, it is very true that anti-aircraft weapons are available with the terrorists these days. However, as they are prepared, we are more formidable. We got intelligence. We are much more better trained, and we keep updating our tactics depending on the weapons that they carry. So, in case have information available that they have using AK guns or the missiles, appropriately the tactics are changed. Either we are using a laser-guided bomb or long-range cruise missiles, or even better, we're using the unmanned aerial vehicles today. So as the technology goes into the hand of
Okay,
the terrorists,
Shiv,
we as a nation,
yes.
as a defense forces, keep upgrading our tactics to keep our pilots out of the harm's way. Thank you.
Let me now take it to the Indian context. Shiv, we've seen 12 Mirage 2000s go deep inside Pakistan and bomb Balakot. Would that be possible once again, given the fact that the Pakistani Air Force would be better prepared in future? They're a capable Air Force. While that's an Air Force that also sides with terrorists, the threat for Indian Air Force is even bigger. You have a terrorist and an Air Force of an adversary that operate in tandem, Shiv.
Gaurav, in the Balakot airstrike, the Pakistan military system, the Pakistan Air Force, early warning air defenses were all completely deceived, in a masterful deception planned by the Indian Air Force. And that's why that bombing was possible. So a lot of planning went into it. It wasn't just, a bravado mission where the Mirages crossed over, bombed, and came back. It was a highly orchestrated deception that lured fighters from Pakistan away to the other side. And then our guys went in and bombed Balakot and came back. But things are significantly different now. For instance, for the next bombing mission, if it is ever deemed necessary, the Indian Air Force's new Rafale fighters, for instance, Gaurav, have both air-to-air and air-to-ground weaponry like the Meteor and the Scalp, which will not even necessitate crossing the line of control or the international border. These are fighter jets that, with their existing weaponry and electronics and sensors, can actually precision target targets deep inside Pakistan, not just POK, but deep inside Pakistan, while not even leaving Indian airspace. Of course, all of this is easier said than done. I am not for a moment, making it sound like a video game. War is a very, very serious business. But speaking strictly from a technical and a tactical point of view, that's what these aircraft and these weapons are actually built for: long-range standoff strikes. So theoretically, if the need arises, if targets are, evaluated and found to be needed to be taken out, then the Rafale fighters and even weapons on some of the other fighters that the Indian Air Force has are capable of conducting those strikes without even leaving Indian airspace, Gaurav.